After months of endless teasing and tempting, we are finally riding the all-new KTM 390 Adventure, just finally landed on Indian shores. We are in the beautiful state of Goa to test ride this motorcycle, and behind me is a lively beach. Now, we'll be riding this motorcycle on the road, off the road, and see whether this has the potential to shake up the sub 500cc adventure motorcycle segment. But before I begin, I request you to subscribe to the NDTV Auto YouTube channel in case you haven't already, and click on the bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on the latest updates from NDTV Auto. Well, let me just put it out there. This is easily the best looking adventure motorcycle in the sub 500cc segment, right? And just look at the front end. It is like a rally raid motorcycle, as close to a rally raid motorcycle as possible. The headlight and the LED console is taken from the bigger KTM adventure motorcycle, the tall windscreen, and it gives you the impression of having a rally tower, right? So I really like that about this motorcycle, and it looks lean, mean and purpose built. And yes, I'm not going to harp on about the design details, but I really like the way the KTM 390 Adventure looks. Now let's talk about the ergonomics, right? So come on. So the seat height is 830 mm, which is tall but not unmanageable. To give you an idea, the seat of the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 is 825 mm, so this is just 5 mm taller. Not very difficult to hop onto, and I'm 5'8", and I can just easily plant my foot right here, and I can tiptoe the motorcycle. I'm very comfortable and secure, and this motorcycle weighs in at 182 kg, which is relatively on the lighter side of things, right? And it has a wide handlebar. Now, one grouse that I have is the fact that when you want to stand up and ride, well, the handlebars are a little too low for my liking, right? So if I were to buy this motorcycle and ride it off-road frequently, I would install, say, handlebar risers, and then it will be perfect to stand up and ride. Right now, it is a little too low. But apart from that, you sit tall, you sit upright. There's a great view of the road when you're riding. So overall ergonomics, quite nice, and the seat itself is quite plush and comfortable, although we are yet to test the long ride ability of this motorcycle, right? So we'll do that once we get the motorcycle back home. Right now we're in Goa, but overall ergonomics, yes, it is comfortable. Now the engine is the same as the one on the KTM 390 Duke. The single cylinder motor displaces 399cc and makes 46 horsepower at 8500 rpm along with 39 Newton meters at 6500 rpm. Compared to the older 390 ADV, the peak power and torque come in at 1000 rpms earlier. The stroke is longer and the engine itself is 1 kg lighter than before. The engine is paired to a 6-speed gearbox with a standard bi-directional quick shifter. The airbox also becomes bigger for better breathability, and the front and rear sprockets have been changed for better low-end traction. Coming to the cycle parts, the motorcycle gets WP Apex suspension up front with 200 mm of travel and 30-step adjustment for compression plus rebound. Similarly, the rear gets a monoshock with 10-step preload adjustment and 20-step rebound adjustment with 205 mm of travel. The chassis on the motorcycle is all new and has been designed keeping everyday rideability and solid off-road ability in mind. The front end gets a 21-inch wheel while the rear is a 17-inch unit. The rims are tubeless with offset spokes which offer better bump absorption and better durability. So when I spent the first 30 minutes riding this motorcycle, right, I was surprised, so to say, because the new 399cc engine, LC4C engine, it felt really calm, right? But KTMs are known to be manic, mental. So this is an engine and this is a motorcycle that can be ridden in a very calm, sedate manner. And if you decide to give it the beans, then it turns into that typical 390 KTM manic, mental motorcycle, right? So to give you the numbers, 0 to 60 kilometers per hour sprint is done in just 2.6 seconds. 0 to 100 takes 6.2 seconds. These are claimed figures, of course. We'll test it out when we ride it back home. And the performance from the engine is really impressive. What KTM has done is, well, from the 390 Duke, so the engine characteristic is slightly different. Peak power and torque figures, they come in about 1000 rpms lesser, right? And the bottom end and the mid range is really strong and punchy, and which is what you need when you ride the motorcycle in city environments or even off-road for that matter. And the one grouse that I have is the fact that the engine between 4000 to 5500 rpm, it is really vibey in nature. It's not a deal breaker, and it has always been a characteristic of KTM 390 engines, but the moment you cross that 5000 5500 rpm mark, the engine smoothens out and the performance is absolutely mind-blowing. So if you want to tour on this motorcycle, if you want to go on long distance rides, yes, you can do so very comfortably. And if you want to make quick overtaking maneuvers, you can do that with ease. And the engine itself is very tractable. In the third gear, from 30 to 80 kilometers per hour, it can be done very easily. In the fourth gear, you can go from 40 to triple digit speeds in the blink of an eye. So the engine is tractable, and the down bottom end performance has been improved very much from the older KTM 390 Adventure, which had one of its flaws as being very peaky and the bottom end being completely empty. In this motorcycle, that's not the case. So yes, it is a fun to ride motorcycle in a typical KTM fashion. So talking about the handling of the 390 Adventure, well, the wheels are tubeless and spoked, and well, it is a nimble motorcycle to handle, right? It feels agile, it feels very narrow, so the midsection is very narrow, and if you want to make quick direction changes, you can do that very easily on the new 390 Adventure, despite the fact that it gets a bigger wheel up front. And the grip from this Apollo Trampler tires is really nice, and yes, even if you lean it into a corner, you'll feel very confident. And if you want to just filter through traffic in city conditions, you can do that very easily too. Talking about the ride quality, well, this has adjustable suspension up front and at the rear. So right now we have left it in stock settings. When we go off-road, then we'll change the settings a bit. And yes, the ride quality is plush, and you can just adjust these settings according to your weight, your riding preference, and you'll be rewarded with a very engaging ride experience. In typical KTM fashion, the motorcycle is laden with electronics. There are 3 ride modes on offer: street, rain and off-road. The same can be toggled on and off with the switch cube on the left, and is easy and intuitive to change on the go. The 5-inch TFT screen comes with bonded glass that offers better visibility, especially in harsh sunlight. What is also commendable is the fact that the rear ABS and traction control can be switched off manually, and KTM also offers adjustability for throttle response in the off-road mode. The best part, the exact riding mode configuration doesn't change even when you switch the motorcycle off completely. And yes, the top spec model gets cruise control and Bluetooth connectivity. Right, the big question, how does it perform off-road? Well, I'm happy to report that the KTM 390 Adventure is a hoot to ride off-road right now. The new engine with its new characteristics, the comfy ergonomics, and the overall chassis and suspension package is absolutely on point, right? So you want to take it over rough, rocky terrain, on loose gravel tracks, or sandy terrain, muddy terrain, you want to just slide the motorcycle, you can completely switch off the rear ABS, you can turn off the traction control, and you have a hooligan at your disposal, right? So I really liked the way the motorcycle performed off-road. The one little grouse, like I said earlier, that if you're standing up and riding, the handlebar is a little too low for that. But apart from this particular miss, the overall performance of the new KTM 390 Adventure, especially when you go off-road, is something that you'll really enjoy. And why I say so is because of the fact that it is relatively lighter. So yes, bookings are now open and deliveries are likely to begin in March 2025. The new generation 390 Adventure is priced at 3,68,000 rupees ex-showroom. And we think the pricing is competitive given the kind of level up it offers compared to the older model and even its existing rivals, the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 and the BMW G310 GS. Expect both its rivals to have sleepless nights because the kind of quality, features and performance that the KTM offers
is possibly the best in the segment indeed.
Riding the new KTM 390 Adventure has been a revelation. Every time you ride this motorcycle, you'll have a wide, goofy grin plastered all over your face. Be it the on-road performance, the set of features that it has, and particularly the off-road performance, when you put everything into perspective, this is easily one of the best motorcycles you can buy in the sub 500cc adventure motorcycle category, if not the best. Its nearest rival, the Royal Enfield Himalayan, well, it has the advantage in terms of pricing. This is more expensive, slightly, but if you look at the overall picture, this definitely has a lot to offer. How does it fare against the Royal Enfield Himalayan? Well, that's a story for another day, but if you want to buy this motorcycle, it could very well be the only motorcycle in your garage because it does everything, almost everything, very nicely, and it will make you enjoy motorcycling, right? And that's what you want from your motorcycles. What are your thoughts on the new KTM 390 Adventure? Do let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please do give us a thumbs up and please do share this video with your family and friends. Till then, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon in the next video from NDTV Auto.